It is 6:02, Tuesday, February 11th. The City of Franklin Board of Public Works meeting is called to order. The first order of business will be roll call of members. I'll start out with Alderman Yusuf Hassan here. Thank you. David Woznicki.
Here.
Clark Johnson.
Here.
Jonathan Webster.
Here.
Ken Skowronski. Here. Absent tonight is Jim Witt. And Highway Superintendent Kevin Schlieder is here. District 2 Alderperson Michelle Eichmann. Did I get that right? Okay. And also present is Mayor John Nelson. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. No. The next order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, the next item is the reading and approval of minutes for the January 14th, 2025 meeting.
Move to approve. I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Hassan and seconded by David Woznicki. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the
I
ayes.
will abstain. I wasn't here.
And I as well.
Okay, we have two abstentions. Clark Johnson and Jonathan Webster have abstained because they were absent at the previous meeting. Hearing that, then everything's cool and motion carries. The next order of business is the public comment period. It is 6:04.
So I would like to start that. Commissioner Webster here. As you all know, I've been moving myself to become less involved with the board. I moved myself from the chairman about a year ago, and it has come time for me to give my resignation to the mayor, which I did last weekend. I've gone back. I think I was 1 year off on my start date, John. I think I started on this board either December of 91 or January of 92. I'm not sure which one, but it was one of those 2 years. But this will be my last meeting. And I sat up here for the first 6 months and never said a word because I didn't know what was going on. But, it's been a long ride through a lot of mayors and a lot of alder people that have, kept their trust in us and a lot of the members here over the years. And I appreciate all of that. But it's time for me to move on and let new blood come into the board. I think it's time for that too.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Webster said his piece. Is anybody else, by the way, you're supposed to give your address and everything else for the record, but you'll be okay.
You'll let me go on that one?
I'll let you go on that one. Is there anybody else that would like to speak? You want your chair?
It's time to go for the chair, too. Take it with you.
Okay, that's live.
John Nelson, address of 7787 South North Cape Road, current mayor, City of Franklin. The reason I came tonight, obviously, just to bid a huge farewell to Mr. Webster. And serving this community in the capacity he did for as long as he did is extremely rare. And it's a thankless job, as everybody knows who sits up on these boards and commissions. Obviously it's volunteer, there's no pay, there's time commitment, researching commitment, This is a very important board and commission. They all are, but this is very important for how we spend a lot of money. We spend a lot of money, which comes through boards and our board, our streets, equipment, everything. A lot goes through this board, and it's got a lot of responsibility. With responsibility comes objectiveness, comes being judged, comes being criticized, and that's why I thank all of you that are doing this job and continue to do this job. But, yeah, Mr. Webster, I can't say enough good things about you to everybody that I've talked to about your commitment, how open, when I was an alder assigned to this board, not knowing anything, you basically spoon-fed me things that I needed to know and brought me up on things and the why. I guess that was the biggest thing, is the why. Why do we do this? Why do we spend money on this? Why do we do this with our roads? Why do we do this with our equipment? A lot of whys that I didn't know. I mean, I knew that it got done, just didn't know how it got done, and didn't know the intricacies and didn't know the details, but you always had the answers and always had the details, and I appreciate that. And this is one strong board. This is a great board to work with, so I can't say enough good things about the members of this board and commission, and thank you again for your service. And I will have a proclamation done for you at a future Common Council meeting where I'll present it, and you'll probably hear me spew the same rhetoric. So if you do attend, act surprised. And thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah. Is there anybody else for the public comment period? Okay, seeing nobody step forward, it is 6:09, and I'll call the public comment period closed. All right, the next item is unfinished business, and it's got a hash mark through it. Do we have any unfinished business?
No, we don't.
Okay, we have no unfinished business. Moving on, we have new business. And the first item on the new business is review and discussion of Pute's Pathway Statements of Qualification, City of Franklin recommendation pending Wisconsin DOT final approval. And I'm thinking this update's coming from Kevin, correct?
I can tell you what I have.
Okay.
We did meet, a group of us, myself, Alderman Eichmann was there, City Engineer Paulus was there, another engineer from Grafe was there, and Jim Witt from the board here was there.
Okay.
It was decided that Civil Tech, which is a firm, one of the 7 firms that had put in a request, was selected. So now the engineering department will start negotiating with them to take it to the next step.
Okay.
So that's where we're at right now, is just the negotiating part.
So then this item is more or less information only at this time?
Yes.
And we do want it to show up on the agenda for next month for follow-up, correct?
If something has been taken that far, negotiations could take several months.
Well, then should we not revisit it until something comes from engineering to trigger an agenda item? Would that be better?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, at this time, new business, item A, will not return to the agenda until something is ready to be brought forth to the board.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. The next item is B, Department of Public Works, purchase of plow truck. And that would also be Kevin's proposal, and that was that big packet, that 21 pages of stuff on the trucks that I was reading through. Yeah.
I wanted to get it out to you because last month I didn't, so I wanted to get it out to you sooner this month.
Now, is this is not the same truck that we approved last month, is it?
No, we had 2 in the budget. First one was a single axle. This is a tandem axle that we're requesting.
So this is not 2 tandem axles?
No, this is just one.
Okay, because I was looking through the paperwork, and it did say something about 2 trucks in the paperwork, and that's why I was
When
wondering.
you look at where it says total number of units with the price, it's total number of units 1.
Okay,
And Then the other part that I want to fill you in on is there's been one slight change to the price. Western Star just came out with now, on our plow trucks, we have a hood access to check all our fluids in them. Western Star now just came out with that option. So we added that in, and that was an additional $274. If we don't add it in, we have to tip the hood completely up every time. And in the wintertime, that means taking the plow off and the wing off to tip the hood all the way up. So we want to add that into this purchase.
How much does that cover?
$274 additional. So it would be a total of $174,922. That's $174,922. And that is the only change from what was sent out to everyone.
All right. Well, I did take some time to actually review it, and just to show my lack of knowledge, I looked at a lot of stuff and nodded my head and went, okay. Has anybody else looked this over and have any questions that they would like to? Yes, Mr. Webster.
I do have a couple of questions. I understand your comment about the total and per unit, so on page 18, that's kind of confusing.
Okay.
But my question is a little different, and that is, this is a Western truck,
Western Star, yes.
Western Star. I'm assuming that's not the normal brand that we've been buying for years. And I'm assuming that that has something to, I remember something about trucks and deliveries in the last few years. Is there a reason why we're going to Western Star? I think we were on internationals for a while.
We were.
And so why are we going to Western Star?
Both the single axle and the tandem axle can be built and delivered to us this year.
Okay.
An
And I believe that was the issue that we were having in recent years, is getting them delivered on a schedule, correct?
Correct. And international, which we have already, but they won't even consider delivering anything to us till 27. And
Okay.
it'll probably be late. And there's going to be major engine changes being made with the model year 27. So we'd rather not be the first one out the door with new engine styles.
Yep.
So we're going to try the Western Star. Other communities have them. They've had great success. There's nothing wrong with them. Just in the
Okay.
past, we've used International, Mack, and Freightliner.
Right.
And
I just was asking that question because that's what struck me first,
yeah,
was why
Yeah.
the change.
And I was going to tease you and say, well, if you'd been to the last meeting, you would have had. But Western Star, from what I know, is a premium brand right up there along with the other trucks, and we have had some serious problems with some of the international engines.
Yes.
In the past 5 years or so.
yes.
And with this change in EPA regulations, at least the way they stand at this moment, there's a lot of things being changed on these engines going forward that could really be a problem. That was one of the reasons why several years ago I had asked the question about looking at compressed natural gas or one of those types of things and going away from the diesels, but the diesels still win out. They've got the power and the durability and everything else. So you gave us a new total, 200 and some odd dollars more than what it previously was. So what you're looking for from us is a motion to approve the purchase of this truck?
Yes, sir, for $174,922.
All right. And no pennies?
No pennies.
All right. Would somebody like to make a motion?
I will make that motion.
Okay, the motion's been made. How would you like the motion? How would you like this worded?
That we approve the presented quote plus the option
Okay, thank you very much. Ken Skowronski made the motion. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, David.
I have one question yet.
Nikki has made the second, and under discussion?
Yes.
Under discussion, Jonathan Webster.
I do have one question. What was budgeted for this truck?
In
How
the-
do we, in the budget, what was budgeted in the truck for this?
In our total budget for the 2 trucks was $700,000.
Okay.
That's for the chassis and the complete outfitting of each one.
Okay.
And we're
We're
within
well
that.
within that range. Thank you.
Okay. So the trucks are within budget. We have a motion, and it's been seconded. Have discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. So we got another new truck.
Thank you.
The next item is the discussion of Jim Bartnecki Memorial. I brought this back up last month because I didn't want it to just disappear into Never Never Land. We have a forestry department, correct?
Yes, and that's what I was going to propose is that we, down somewhere below by the engineering, we put in a nice tree in his honor.
Okay, and Mr. Skowronski, who said he's a personal friend of Mr. Barnecki's family, was going to discuss with his family what their thoughts and potential feelings were. I know we have certain trees in the city that we're using as trees that the forestry department likes for a particular reason or another. So, Ken, do you have anything you'd like to share with us?
I do. Talked to the family a couple times. They're open to a tree. I think their preference would be a park bench somewhere.
Okay.
It was the late 70s. Jim and Don Harang, who's a lieutenant in the police force here, made a video in the park behind us of how to climb a tree safely because we all taught a hunter safety course. Jim and Don and my father for many years longer than I did. And that was something, it's an ongoing discussion, but that's something they're considering.
Okay.
So a park bench instead of a tree, or a tree and a park bench?
Either or, likely a park bench.
Okay.
More to come on it?
We can make that work.
Well, and I would say, I agree with the park bench with some sort of a plaque or something. That would be wonderful. And I would also personally favor a tree because they're durable. You know, and we are in the business of planting trees to beautify the city and everything. Maybe if forestry had a suggestion pending their approval, say, yeah, that would be a nice tree to go along with that park bench with a plaque. I think that would be appropriate. So, all right, well, we'll keep.
I don't think there's any action needed on it at this point.
No, I don't think so either. I think for the time being, we'll leave it on the agenda just to revisit it until we come up with a final decision. And we're not going to do anything until spring anyway. So, all right, thank you very much for contacting the family and reporting back to the board. Does anybody else have any input on that particular item? I know
I have one question.
Yes.
One
Mr.
question. I know the three of us for certain have big ties to Boy Scouts.
Yes.
Do, you know, when you talk about a bench or a park bench and things like that, I don't have ties anymore. I'll be blunt, I don't. But do we know of any Boy Scouts who would be looking towards an Eagle Scout project that could make that into an Eagle Scout project?
I have some avenues left I could.
I'm just, you know, it's a way to reach out to the community in a way that, you know, we can help a kid get to that Eagle Scout position, or a Gold Scout in Girl Scouts.
Well, and that might be a good thought, but I don't think one bench would be enough for the overall project.
Probably not, but
You know,
I'm
I
just
think-
bringing up the thought.
You know, it's a good thought. Or have the scouts be involved. If there's some sort of a dedication ceremony, and maybe have them come and do a flag opening or something as part of a ceremony, to acknowledge the gift, you know.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, one bench and possibly a tree is not enough for an Eagle Scout project.
Probably not.
You know. But I do agree that it would be nice if the Scouts could be involved. I also do not have any ties to Troop 539 anymore.
Yeah.
So, but I'm sure we could reach out if it was appropriate when the time
When the
comes.
time comes.
Okay. Well, we're close to 539, so. Anyway,
Actually, we were both in 538 when they were Cub Scouts.
were we?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. All right. We're done with item C. The next item is number 6, future agenda items. Is there anything that we need to look at for future agenda items other than what we've already discussed possibly coming forward?
I have nothing at this time.
Okay, and I am not aware of anything either. Next item is scheduled for next meeting, Tuesday, March 11th, 2025. And I guess I'll entertain a motion to adjourn at 6:23 p.m.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion's made by Jonathan Webster. Any second?
Second.
Is Alderman Hassan. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you very much.